Hey y'all, happy Father's Day to all you dads out there, especially to my father-in-law, my dad, and my stepdad. I wanted to give you guys just a little bit of a post-storm update. So we had a big storm roll through last night. We got about 1.25 inches of rain. We had quite a few small limbs break. There is one right here. You can see it. The large oak did really well. They were saying the winds were about 75 miles an hour or so. We lost another branch on this maple that was a decent size. I'm not sure if you remember from one of my community posts on YouTube a while back. We had the arborist come out and trim up all of the trees in the front, and then we got a like 40 or 50 mile an hour wind and we had a limb in the maple break. So this tree has had a lot of breakage. The arborists assure me that it's healthy. I guess we just have some weaker branches on it. Hopefully the deep root feeding and the stuff that we've done thus far will help out with less broken branches in the future. You can see down here, right over there, there have been chainsaws running this morning since about 7 o'clock on the sycamore, a couple houses down. They had quite a few branches down, as you can see there, but overall we were pretty lucky. You can probably hear Tommy in the back blowing, but let's head back there and take a look. He was able to cut up most of the limbs and fit it in this trash can, so pretty minimal damage. We're very thankful for that. We had a small branch break off of this here. That is a red bud. And then have a lot of flopped over purple velvet plants here. I had them staked up and the wind was strong enough to where it ripped the ties off the stakes. So I'm going to take after these here in a little bit. I think they will still be okay. I will just restake them. And then back in the back, I'll show you the raised bed area. I'll be needing to do some staking back here as well. I'm going to take after some of this Phacelia. It is a jumbled mess. I'm probably gonna cut it way back. I'll cut the blooms off and use those for a flower arrangement. But the coneflowers, although they are already staked up, check this out. This is, you know, people always say blue or purple, you know, like the Super Bina Imperial Blue. Had some comment on blue versus purple, why they call flowers blue when they really look purple. Well, this is a true blue flower. Check this out. It's like royal blue. It's very pretty. And this was supposed to be a pink and purple mix, which technically these purples would fall under the blue category. These did pretty well. I had these staked up. Really love these coneflowers. They're super, excuse me, the cornflowers. And they're really pretty. They're tall. They're great for cut flowers. We're getting so close on the lavender dinner plate dahlia. I need to stake up a bunch of zinnias. These are probably 3.5 feet tall. So I would say they fared very well as far as 75 mile an hour winds go. This is really pretty. I really like this color. A couple of you guys have asked what certain varieties this is. I got this variety that is called Cut and Come Again. It's the reason why there's oranges, pinks, blushes, purples, yellows, golds, all mixed into this one variety. It was just a mix. I think my in-laws got it from me on Amazon. They got them for me for Christmas and they just ordered them on there. So if you want a very productive variety, I'll be ordering the same one again. But look at this. It's just so pretty And this is a really pretty color as well. There was one the other day that I was gonna show. I don't know where it went, but all the colors in this mix are extremely pretty. I harvested the lettuce this morning. Don't look at that, that's a mess. I need to harvest some kale, and we've got quite a bit of production on the tomatoes. The lettuce over here went so crazy that this, I think it's a sugary tomato. Yeah. That it hardly got any sun. So since I've harvested this lettuce, I think it should put on some growth here pretty soon. The arugula, the cabbage, all doing well. Anything that was taller, these cosmos, you can see, took a little bit of a beating, but overall, not bad. So I'm just going to be doing some quick cleanup here. Need to deadhead some dahlias. Just some quick storm cleanup and some staking of some things. So I'm just gonna knock that out really quick and let's just get started. Okay, so the window box is so elevated, it's really hard to get my camera set up perfectly to shoot this section. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take a look at the bases of these stems, make sure they're not damaged. As long as they're not damaged, I'll be just staking them back up to the bamboo pole that you see there. I should have also mentioned earlier in the video, there's about 50,000 people in the OKC area without power. So we are super thankful to have minimal tree and storm damage, and we've never lost power. So we're super thankful for that. Okay, sorry, had to pause the video, go back and rewatch that clip because I just spent about 5 minutes looking for my landscape ties. Don't you hate it when you do that? And it was right in front of my face, of course. All right, not super pretty, but at least at this point they're upright. So while we're here, here's a little update. The painted Japanese ferns are really starting to put on some growth. The heucherella there, wire vine, going crazy. Such a great plant, one of my favorites. The Munchkin fire hostas getting ready to bloom. I need to do a little bit of maintenance in here. but you can see here the painted Japanese ferns have put on a lot of growth. I mentioned in a previous video that for me, these tend to grow really slow. They take a while to get established before they really start pushing some new growth. So what I staked up, for those of you that don't know, those are purple velvet plants. And considering the wind that we had last night and considering how tall they are, they did pretty well. None of the bases broke. So I just staked them back up and they'll straighten up just a little bit over time. And we should be good to go for a while until we get our next windstorm. All right, grab my Felcos because I need to do a little bit of pruning, as I mentioned, on the Phacelia. And then I have bamboo stakes, and we'll get back here and get some of this stuff staked up. Okay, and I'm just gonna go through here and pull out some weeds and cut back this Phacelia. So this Phacelia, I have basically 3 Phacelia plants in here, and this one was looking really rough. The other 2 look pretty good. So I'm gonna go in and cut this back pretty hard. I don't really care if it comes back. This is not one of those plants that I will plant again as far as cut flowers go. So and it's just kind of taking over from some of the dianthus, and I haven't used it near as much for cut flowers as I thought I was going to. So I think I'll just cut it way back and use what I can of it and then just leave the rest. It's just so thick. So I'll keep the ones that are in full bloom like this. A lot of these branches are actually broken from the wind now that I'm getting into them and starting to cut them. See how kind of fragile they are, and the thicker the stem, the easier it just breaks. So a lot of these are broken, but I will use the ones that are in full bloom. I'll stick them in some water. See if I can get this to focus. I'll stick them in some water and use them. So it looks a little bit better, kind of hard to tell from this video, but it was covering up all of this. A bunch of the Quaker grass was leaned over towards my direction. And the asters, you can see kind of where it was laying over on them, are much smaller. But right now I'm going to take after the dahlias really quick. And I think Tommy told me we got about 1.25 inches of rain last night with the storm as well. He is up in the front weeding some of the larkspur and the white lace that is pretty much run its course at this point. Okay, now I'm just gonna go around and stake up the sides of these zinnias. I use landscape ties for pretty much just about everything. You could use twine or whatever your preference might be. Okay, really easy, really simple. Takes about 5 minutes. Some of these, it's not 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. 1.5 minutes maybe. I'll tuck some of these taller ones just kind of back in the bunch of zinnias themselves. This side's really not bad. Got a couple over here. I don't really prefer to stake anything unless I absolutely have to, because I don't like to look at the stakes. And I also like to use those low bamboo stakes because for things like these zinnias, the landscape ties just kind of disappear into the green of the foliage, and it's low enough to where you don't really notice it. Most of the cosmos that are leaning over are in this middle section right here. So I'm going to be staking pretty much just in between this row and the middle row. Okay, well, everything's staked. That right there and this right here is my pile of Phacelia. I've had these cornflowers staked for a really long time, exactly like I just staked the zinnias and the cosmos. So this is a method that works for me. And let me step back here, take a look at the raised beds. I'm so excited that all of these flowers took off very well, that were direct sown and that I started inside. You know, it's just one of those things that makes you happy. Put in a lot of work. I posted a image on Instagram and of an arrangement I made. With the exception of the Veronica, everything came from this cut flower, these cut flower raised beds, and it just makes me happy. So I don't have to go somewhere and buy flowers. I can just come back here. If someone's coming over and I want a fresh arrangement, which I typically almost always have a fresh arrangement inside, but now I don't have to run to Trader Joe's. I can just come back here, pop some stuff out, snip some stuff off, and make a really pretty arrangement. So, whoops. Anyways, just makes me really happy. All right, y'all, well, that is all I have for today. I need to get this mess back here cleaned up and just a little post-storm maintenance. I'm gonna go ahead and get that Phacelia popped into a flower arrangement, cut some more flowers from back here. I'll post a picture of that as well. So thank you guys so much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.